I'd like to tell you about a show of epic proportions.
I prefer me some magic when I'm trying to get in and out of houses, undetected. I prefer me some magic.
A show where the boundaries are pushed.
I like spam. Is there something wrong with that?
No, nothing at all. If you prefer meat with jelly on top of it, go right ahead.
I'd like to tell you about that show, but that is not this show. This show is the Fortean Slip, with host Chris York.
I have a tendency to go to dark places with my humor. It is what it is. It's not going to change anytime soon.
Co-host Steve Alcorn.
It was so earth-shaking and mind-blowing that even John Teeter in the future knows about it.
And reoccurring, ever-present special guest, Matt Knapp.
Yeah, somebody should have put out like a giant bug zapper and just ended that whole Mothman debacle.
A show that lacks taste, a filter, and listeners.
Are you listening? Are you like hearing the fucking fart?
Yeah!
You're not just smelling it, you're hearing
Not just smelling. Audible as well.
That would be something else.
Whoa!
But
you
well,
have
I do.
parts that you can't tell if it was you or not?
Well, yeah, because...
What you are about to hear may be offensive, but we don't really give a fuck.
Howdy, and welcome to the Fortean Slip. This is episode 34. May the 4th be with you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's Star Wars Day. A day as a Star Wars fan that I kinda loathe. But, well, fuck it. When in Rome, right, Matt?
That's correct, Chris.
When in Rome.
When in Dagobah.
When in Dagobah. Pick up your lightsaber and strap it on and go in the fucking dark Jedi cave.
Go bang a fat chick.
Oh, here we go.
What?
Episode 34. Yes, it is Star Wars Day. And seeing as how it was Star Wars Day and I couldn't think of anything else to do a fucking show on, I decided to do it on this. And ultimately, you know, it's something that really shaped my life. Personally, when I was a kid, that's all I had was Star Wars toys, and that was it. Like, when I was really young, there was nothing else that I collected until the fucking Transformers showed up, and I was all in with that shit.
So you found a stash of your dad's Playboys under his mattress.
And then that all went out the fucking window.
Who needs slave girl Leia?
Yeah, who needs that when there's titties? Like, in your face. So, yeah, and I just thought it would be cool to, you know, reminisce about, you know, where we, you know, first experienced Star Wars, and, you know, what were the circumstances around it. Like, I know for me, because it came out in, what was it, 76 or 77?
77.
77. Okay, so I was only like a year old in 77. But they re-released it in the drive-in.
Oh, yeah, they re-released it a bunch of times.
Right. So I remember, I don't know how old I was. To this day, I have no idea how old I was. I know I was very, very young. And we went to the drive-in. My father had a fucking Ford Pinto. Only brand new car my father has ever bought. He's never bought a brand new car since. It's always been used pieces of shit. But
instead of a new piece of shit,
right?
That was the Pinto, right?
Right.
Never spent over 4 digits.
But my uncle had a station wagon, And of course, this was back when you didn't tune your radio to the fucking dial to the station to listen to the movie. You got a little speaker that you hung on the side of the car to listen to the movie. So here we had these speakers hung on the side of the car, and me and my cousin were on the roof of the car in sleeping bags.
And literally right now there's people that are going to listen to this and go, what the fuck are they talking about?
yeah, people, younger people. But I thought that was the coolest fucking thing ever, sitting up there in the sleeping bags about to watch this, what everybody had told me was a cool movie that I can remember at the time. And then the movie opens, and I remember it like it was yesterday. The fucking 20th century fucking Fox fucking thing.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up, because what's the deal with that? Do they add a certain extra note or something to that opening? Because you can tell the difference between that opening to a Star Wars movie and that opening to any of the other movies. Have you noticed that?
I think I have, but I'd have to go back and listen. I think you're right. I think there is something that's slightly different about it.
There's something about it.
But that opening is it's epic, just for its time in my life. Like that, boom, there it is, fucking episode 4, boom, and then you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck? I was young, like, and I could read really young because my father was or is dyslexic, and he got picked on when he was in school, so he didn't want me to go through the same thing, so he taught me to read really young.
So he whipped you senselessly.
Right. He's like, you fucking little shit, you'll read. And so I could actually, read the scroll. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, because I had to be like, between 3 and 4, maybe 4 at the time. And I'm just like, where's episode 1, 2, and 3? I mean, that was the first question.
Little did you know.
Yeah, little did I know they'd fuck it up later. I mean, continue it on later. But that whole thing, that experience of being on top of the station wagon and watching that movie, I can't remember anything else about that night watching that movie. Get to, after, like, they're on the ship, That's what I can remember as a kid. Of course I can remember the rest of the fucking movie now. I've seen it like a fucking 100 times. But for that moment in my life, I don't remember beyond there. But and it just changed. I don't know about you guys, but seeing that movie fucking changed me forever.
Now, Steve, have you seen this movie?
Yes, it is one that I have actually seen. And I can recall the first time I ever saw it. It was a long time ago, of course.
In a galaxy far, far away.
In a galaxy far, far away. I was 32, and he was on HBO or something.
He bought a bootleg copy at a yard sale.
All I can remember is I was in love with. No, I seen it when I was little, of course. My parents had a choice at the drive-in. It was either Star Wars or The Blue Lagoon. And because back in those days movies weren't rated, they chose The Blue Lagoon. And so
you didn't lose out entirely.
Well, we didn't get to stay because when they found out what that movie was about, we kind of left. But a few years later, of course, I seen it. I seen the TV version of it. TV movie. ABC movie night or whatever it was back in those days. But I was in love with Princess Leia. That's all I remember. And her hair.
The buns?
The buns.
You were in love with the fucking buns. Really?
All I could think when I was a little kid. Well, here's the thing. I'm a hair guy. I love, women with hair. I just do. With nice, beautiful
ladies,
what
he's trying to say is, if you could be taken right out of a 70s porno movie, you're Steve's gal.
Well, here's the thing. In my mind, all I could think of is undoing those buns. And letting the hair
That's what
flow
you
down.
were thinking
God.
about?
Yeah, I'm
If I could
so
just
glad
throw
I'm
it
recording
all-
this. I'm so
let the hair
fucking
flow
glad
down
right
over
now.
her shoulders and breasts and everything. Oh, that's
Do you
that's
still feel that way about Carrie Fisher?
the current version of Carrie Fisher or the Princess Leia version
The
of?
current version.
No,
Okay. Just making sure, man.
Crystal Gale.
Matt, I don't feel that way about her, but I would for the story.
Just so I could say I did.
Fucking right. Who wouldn't?
Come on, you tell me you weren't in love with Princess Leia back in
Dude,
those
everybody
days.
was in love with Princess Leia. I'm not saying that, but
Right.
I wasn't fucking into her buns.
I
Like
like
the
her
fucking buns on the side of her head. Like when the thing that got me about Princess Leia was the fact that her titties were right there.
Yeah, TNA, man.
You could not miss her fucking nipples.
Well, here's the thing. I like women's hair. I don't know. I didn't notice the nipples.
We're delving into something today, Matt.
This is taking a whole new turn.
Here's the thing. My favorite country singer is, Crystal Gale.
I knew he was going to say
hair.
that.
It's the hair, man. Just love it. So,
He was like the only kid that got a chubby to Rapunzel.
Oh,
yes.
God.
Once she let down her hair,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That dirty whore.
Dirty, dirty man.
So what about you, Matt?
Am I the only guy out there that likes women with beautiful hair?
It's not
Dude, I could fuck a V'ger chick. All right?
It doesn't have to
I
be.
prefer women to have hair. It's just not...
Oh yeah, I wouldn't want a bald woman. Not that would be bad, but you know what? Now that I think about it,
You wouldn't go V'ger?
I don't even know what that means.
You just said you were a Star Trek fan.
I never said. When did I ever say I was a Star Trek? Oh, Star Trek. Star Trek. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what a V'ger is though.
Oh my good, Matt.
I was the original. It wasn't on the original.
Am I the only one that just had my fucking head explode?
It's okay.
Was it from the original show?
It's from the motion picture.
I didn't watch all the movies.
Did you watch the first one?
I don't remember.
The one long advertisement for the USS Enterprise. You go back and watch that movie. There are so many shots of that fucking thing. Oh God.
Anyway, Matt,
Yeah.
that's turn.
Yeah, first time I saw Star Wars was at one of the re-releases. I don't really remember more than sitting there and watching it. But I have more memories actually of Return of the Jedi. Because I was a little bit older.
Yeah, see, here's the funny thing. I remember seeing A New Hope. Don't remember seeing Empire.
Right.
Like, I don't even remember seeing when I saw Empire. And
Like, I saw the original one in, like, 82 during a re-release.
but I remember waiting for the VHS for Jedi.
Well, see, I didn't see Empire in the theaters. The Empire's actually the last one out of the original trilogy that I saw. Which is kind of weird.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. That's
Yeah,
a
but
that's
like,
a hell of an out of order.
Of course, collected the toys, had the toothbrush, the whole nine.
Who didn't?
I mean, Star Wars was my thing. But the thing was, I had that next door neighbor. That one kid, and he had like the bed sheets, every figure, every vehicle, like a Millennium Falcon like hanging up in his room.
Mm-hmm.
And like I wasn't allowed to touch any of it.
Right.
But whenever I went and saw Return of the Jedi, I remember after that was over, we went to Target, and I was allowed to pick out some Star Wars figures. And I got Jabba's Dungeon, and I was like all stoked about that.
Oh, was that the one that it opened up?
Right.
And you could. I had that too. I fucking had that one too.
That was awesome.
Yep.
Awesome little play set.
Oh, she was a Borg. I remember now.
She was not a Borg.
Well, yes, she was. There's a Borg named V'ger.
Oh my good God!
I gotta stop using Google.
Go. You know what, Steve? This is your homework. You need to watch Star Trek.
Well, there's a
Motion
question
picture.
whether she was a Borg or not, I think.
Well, yeah, there's like all kinds of theories, but yeah. Anyway.
Back on topic.
Yeah, back on topic.
Yeah, get off that garbage. Back to Star Wars.
Back to
But
Star
yes,
Wars.
I've seen the picture of her.
Yeah, I love me some Star Trek, but
and I would, yes. like
V'ger?
that. Yeah, she's not bad.
Okay, see?
I could do V'ger.
All right. Star Wars.
Star Wars.
And then in Jedi, of course, you had Leia in the outfit of all outfits for the time,
Yes.
laying at the, I don't know if you'd call it the foot of Jabba,
The tail.
the bottom of Jabba.
Undercarriage.
Yeah. The lower portion. Yeah, and in Jedi, like the thing that I liked about Jedi was, you know, Luke's more into his own. He's far more confident. And the only thing that turned me off about Jedi was the Ewoks. That was it. That was
I like the Ewoks.
only thing about it that turned me off. Other than that, I love the movie. Like the scenes with the Emperor and Luke and Vader, the scenes between just Vader and Luke.
It was a dark movie.
Yeah, when they're sitting, when he basically gives himself over and he's standing with Vader on the about to board the ship and he's talking to him. That is one of the coolest scenes in that movie. Just the back and forth the two of them have.
Yeah. But I don't understand why they didn't just go with the Wookiee planet of Kashyyyk.
Yeah,
Like, that would have made more sense to me.
and he did want to, from what he says, you know that, but he wound up going the other direction with it. Went small.
I guess maybe trying to attract a younger audience into the fray of the Star Wars movies.
And to be honest with you, that's always been their hubris.
Yeah.
They fucking try to sell to kids far too often. Just sell the movie. Just make a movie.
Kids are going to see the movie because their parents are going to drag them to it.
Yeah. Fuck, I dragged my kid to the fucking, well, no, wait a minute, no, I didn't drag my kid to the movies. I got him all the movies, to watch.
Right.
And he watched all 6 of them, and then started watching, the Clone Wars on Cartoon Network and all that bullshit. So it doesn't, they didn't have to put fucking Jar Jar and, oh God, yeah, stop.
Well, there was that huge gap where the Star Wars movies have been made. I wish someday we would get another Star Wars movie, only if. And then around 1995, information starts coming out. They're going to do more Star Wars movies.
Right.
And the little kid in me got all excited. I started collecting figures again, reading all the information I can, learning about new characters. And then finally, The Phantom Menace is released.
It wasn't even that for me. It wasn't the finally part wasn't there. That was a whole climactic build up to that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, the internet was around by then. And the putting of trailers online was in its infancy. You didn't see a lot of them online. Like you do now. Now you can, fucking every trailer that comes out, boom, it's online.
Before it comes out, it's already there.
And that's how they release them now. They release them online before they put them in the theaters. But I waited for that fucking trailer to be online to watch that very first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, even the ones that came after it. But, and then seeing that in the theater the first time, that trailer for episode 1.
Yeah.
And just being like, oh my God. But, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the movie gets released. But yeah, the build up to that was more, it was like stepping for me. It wasn't so much just waiting for the boom, the episode 1. It
right.
was like, because I was paying attention to every, like you, I kind of got that resurgence, and it just took me over.
See, a buddy of mine and his sister went and did the whole camping out, got our tickets and everything. It was a whole ordeal to get tickets. We saw the midnight showing.
See, we didn't do that.
Full, cosplay in full effect. We didn't do it, but there were Wookiees and stormtroopers and everything else in the theater with us, and it was just total chaos. Like people playing with lightsabers down in front of the screen and that whole thing, and just the huge build up, and then the boom, and then the boom wasn't really a boom.
Yeah.
I mean, you were happy because it was Star Wars, but at the same time,
the only thing that and you and I have talked about this before, Matt. The only thing that redeemed that movie is the fucking fight scene between Obi-Wan and fucking Darth Maul at the end of that movie. It's the only thing that redeems it. And
I didn't see it.
And so many people criticize like the focus of those movies, and those movies should have been about fucking Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
They should not have been focused on Anakin Skywalker. They should have been about fucking Ben Kenobi.
Well, they spent the whole time making those 3 movies to build up to a conclusion that we already knew going into it.
Right. So why did we need to focus on him? He could have easily been a supporting character.
Yes.
And
like Ewan McGregor versus Hayden Christensen. I mean, come on. Who's the stronger actor?
Yeah. I mean, who jumps on a fucking motorbike and just rides fucking wherever? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Ewan McGregor.
That's right. He just rides.
I fucking loved him in Black Hawk Down, too. As the
liked him in pretty much everything.
Yeah, he's... And there's another thing, and I want to remind the both of you right now. We need to do the Men Who Stare at Goats thing.
Yes.
That's something that we need to throw on the...
You mean the movie that you asked us to watch like 6 months ago?
Yes, that we didn't do the thing. I can't remember why we didn't do that.
I don't remember either.
But, all right, back to start. We have to throw that on the table, rewind, back to Ewan McGregor. Yeah, so... But and then after episode 1, which was kind of this poof. It wasn't a boom. It was a I mean, it was a boom as far as like sales went.
Oh yeah.
But it was a poof. And then
I mean, if you thought the first 3 films were marketed heavily.
Oh yeah, no shit, right? So then comes episode 2, and here's the thing, we're waiting 2 years between movies because George Lucas is an asshole. I mean, and I'm sorry, let's face it, he's an asshole. I mean,
absolutely.
I love what he fucking put out for me when I was a child. But
he was a different person back then, though.
Right. He was a completely different person back then. And I like his contribution to the Indiana Jones movies. As well. But episode 2 comes out and we get fucking Hayden Christensen, which I don't want to knock on the guy. I've seen him in some other stuff and he's not bad. But in that role, like, how do you pick that guy?
He did not do what they thought he was going to do, I don't think.
Really?
They were expecting to have like another like Harrison Ford moment or something.
Yeah, because he was big about grabbing people who were unknown.
Right.
Yeah, and trying to, so that way the picture wasn't like wrapped around that person. I mean, I know that, And to be honest with you, like as far as like physically for the physical parts of the role, Hayden Christensen was great. Like in that final movie, in Revenge of the Sith, that fight scene between him and Ewan McGregor, I watched the behind the scenes stuff, how much they trained.
Yeah,
there's like one section of that's CGI.
I would say it's possibly the best fight scene out of all the movies.
Oh, absolutely. Hands down.
I mean, it puts, Skywalker versus Vader to shame.
Anything puts fucking Skywalker versus Vader to shame. I was like,
so did the Jar Jar battle scenes,
Oh, God, don't even remind me. Like, isn't there a version of that with like all that wiped out of it? Can I get that one?
Hypnosis. The hypnosis cut.
Can you fucking make me forget it?
Why did that have to happen?
I want it to be like Office Space.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Jump in anytime, Steve.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. See, we totally threw Steve off. He was thinking about hair and buns and fucking hair. And
so is it V
and brushes,
G-E-R,
and combs,
or is it V-E-E-G-E-R? Because the spelling on Google is both.
What the hell?
He's fucking lost in VJ.
Hey, he's still on the bald chick from Star Trek?
He's fucking still on VJ.
Well, yeah. Who wouldn't be?
Oh, fuck. But anyway, everybody, may the 4th be with you. Steve, do you have some fucking news tonight? Like, can you get off VJ and read some fucking news?
I will do my best. But there isn't any fucking in the news tonight, but I'll try. And from beforeitsnews.com.
How are you going to know it?
Are Monsanto and biotech using Hawaiian Islands as a petri dish? If you hear Monsanto tell the story of genetically modified crops, you'll be told that they are the answer to the world hunger and pest problems and are completely safe. But ask the people who live where Monsanto has grown and tested their crops, and you'll hear another story. It happened in India and Argentina, and some say it is now happening on the Hawaiian Islands, and specifically the island of Molokai. I think I pronounced that right. Only around 5,500
The island of Molokai. All they grow is corn.
It's the island of Molokai, I believe. Only 5,500 people live on Molokai, but biotech giant Monsanto leases some 1,850 acres of land there to grow their BT corn. BT corn is genetically modified corn made to ward off insects with
corn.
Thought it stood for bitchin' tasty.
Okay. No? It might. It has pesticides inside the seeds that wards off insects, apparently. Evidence suggests, however, insects aren't the only ones in danger. Not only are the BT toxins showing up in our blood and urine, but a new study indicates that they are capable of killing human embryo cells. Tell that to Monsanto or the government regulatory agencies that allow GMO seeds to grow. On Molokai, Monsanto employs around 165 people.
A representative from Planned Parenthood showed up on Monsanto's door after this fucking news story hit.
Many of them who have worked at the research facility before Monsanto came to the island, back when it was operated by the University of Hawaii. For those touching genetically engineered crops as part of their jobs, they also have to be on their lookout, says biotechnology critic and author Jeffrey Smith. And if someone says, "Oh, I'm sure it's not GMO related," don't believe them. Smith points to several locations where villagers and locals suffered ill health when Monsanto came to town.
That's the best way of calling somebody a liar I have ever heard.
From allergic reactions to increased suicide rates, GMO crops from Monsanto are not new to geographic controversy.
So the crops are killing themselves? Well, what's going on here, Steve?
I'm just reading the story. Not only are biotech crops safe, but data collected since commercialization of biotech crops in the mid-1990s shows that biotech foods have contributed significant benefits to large and small farms worldwide, as well as the environment and farming communities, says Paul Kohler of Monsanto, Hawaii, who unsurprisingly supports the GMO efforts not only on the island, but globally. The islanders aren't so sure. Though some of them depend on the seed giant for their livelihood, others aren't convinced the industry has done enough to prove their seeds and crops are safe to eat, grow, or even live near. Hawaii as a whole is not generally receptive to biotech bullying. Citizen activism in Maui, it has led to petitions to halt GMO giants from invading, while the mayor of the Big Island, Hawaii, Billy Kenoi, has banned biotech GMO.
Shaka, bro.
Hey, Matt.
Yes, Chris.
There ain't no islands left for islanders like me.
No, there's not. I wonder if one of those Monsanto guys would eat like a Monsanto salad.
And from the HuffingtonPost.com, a Florida airline pilot spots a UFO at a Bruce Springsteen concert.
Like walking around smoking a joint.
A Florida airline pilot who was outside with family in Sunrise, I'm assuming Sunrise, Florida, exiting a Bruce Springsteen concert, reported watching a large, pulsating, bright white light that changed shape and color and conducted maneuvers in the sky before moving away at tremendous speed.
It's called a laser light show, moron.
According to a May 3rd, 2014 testimony in case number 55981 from the Mutual UFO Network witness reporting database. The witness identified himself as a current airline pilot with 34 years of experience based in Fort Lauderdale who is familiar with air traffic for the local area. Springsteen was in concert April 29, 2014 at the BB&C Center in Sunrise. The witness was exiting the concert at about 11:25 p.m. on April 29th. He said, "I know where airplanes should be, and I know where they should not be if they have no intention of landing at KFLL on runway 10L, the witness stated. Specific runway there. This object I saw was obviously not landing on 10L and should not have been in the final approach corridor." The witness described the object.
Matt, I've been in the final approach corridor before.
He said, "I approximate the object, orb, light, or whatever, to have been about 1,500 to 2,000 feet between the final approach, God, I don't even know what this means, fix, NOVAE and PIONN. These GPS fixes are noted on the US 10L approach plate for KFLL. That would place it approximately 8 to 10 miles due west of KFLL on the 270-degree radial." The witness also noticed other people in the crowd looking at the object. He says, "As we were coming out of the front doors with thousands of fans, I noticed a group of people pointing and staring in the southern sky. I looked up to see what they were watching and saw the following. An extremely bright, pulsating, round white light appeared to be slowly moving north toward the arena. I immediately assumed it was an aircraft on base leg getting ready to make a right turn to land at KFLL. The landing light, or what I thought was a landing light, was extremely bright. Thinking back, it really was too bright to be an aircraft, but I figured it could be. The object then began to pulsate and seemed to change shape. It started pulsating from bright white to pulsating blue to red and back to blue. It slowed, and I thought it had begun to turn to the east. And
they were just telling the boss that they wanted to hear Born in the USA.
But it appeared to slow down. But it appeared to stop in midair. The bright light then changed to a star pattern-like design, but the best I can describe it is it appeared to be like a blue asterisk, at least 3, maybe 4, but I believe 3 crossed lines of bright blue crossed lines, steady, not moving, stationary. God, this witness makes no sense. The witness tried to dismiss the light as a known object. That's enough of that story.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, when I first started reading it. And in our final story from swvatoday.com. Bigfoot hunter to speak at the Big Walker Lookout. And this is in Southwest Virginia, I believe. Want to go? Grandpa Larry Davis will be at the Big Walker Lookout Sunday, May 11th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
It's fucking Bigfoot Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Larry Davis.
Yeah, you got that one?
Yeah, got that
one. You got it a lot faster than I did. To discuss his search for Bigfoot and sign copies of his book, Bigfoot Encounters. He will also play a video of some of his adventures and share his scrapbook of evidence photos. It's humongous, it's hairy, it's elusive, excuse me. It haunts Larry Davis, it's Bigfoot. For 36 years, this mild-mannered man with missing teeth and a velvet voice has tracked his prey, hiking mountainous terrain, looking for signs he has come to know so well. Twisted saplings, stick structures, distinctive nests, scat, and the famous footprint. And the smell, that foul putrid odor. It's like a mixture of musky urine, a wet animal, and the body odor of a person who has never used deodorant a day in their life, Davis said.
Or anybody who's into shit and piss play smells on a nightly basis.
He would know.
Necrophiliac.
He would know. The Virginia native, he hails from near Richmond, has been intrigued with Bigfoot since his childhood in the 1950s when Sir Edmund Hillary encountered stringy hair and enormous tracks from the abominable snowman, or Yeti, in Nepal. Later in the 1960s and 70s, reports of the ape-like creatures surfaced in the northwest United States. Davis figured if so many people were seeing them, then it couldn't be a hoax unless they were all in on it. So in 1978, he bought a map of the United States and Canada and marked the area of reported sightings with a red dot. Although fascinated by Bigfoot, Davis never expected to encounter one on the East Coast because all American reports had come from the Pacific Northwest. It wasn't until years later, after his initial 2 encounters with the creature, that he realized the importance of his experiences. His first brush with Bigfoot happened in late 1970s and early 80s while on hunting expeditions with a buddy in Charlotte County, Virginia. He says, one was black and one was reddish-brown. He said of the ape-like animals.
Listen, we don't discriminate around here, Steve.
Oh.
No, we can have both black and reddish-brown Bigfoots.
That's right.
Both sightings were during the day and were fleeting. He figures he was within about 50 feet of the beasts. He also smelled that smell, heard the distinctive screams, and ran across what he came to realize were nests and stared into their legendary glowing eyes on a few nights. Once he put it to 2 and 2 together, the hunt was on. He said it was a 365-day-a-year thing for him, and he loved it. It keeps me young and takes my mind off things. I guess I'm obsessed with it. Sometimes I wish I'd never seen one. And that, fellas, is the news. B-G-E-R?
Feature, yeah. This was, yeah, just look it up. This was episode 34. May the 4th be with you. If you like us, click the little like button. If you don't like us, you can click the little like down button. We don't fucking care about you, but you can click it if you want. Subscribe. Oh, by the way, guys, 2 subscribers from 400.
Nice.
So,
come on, people.
Click the fucking subscribe button. Come on. Go to your mom's house. Go on her YouTube channel. Click the fucking like button. Click subscribe. Let's make this shit happen. Booyah.